Soviet monuments are towering symbols of history, power, and memory, yet behind their colossal facades lie eerie stories, legends, and unexplained events. Today, we explore some of the most famous Soviet monuments whose backstories blur the line between fact and folklore, revealing haunting tales that have captivated historians and paranormal enthusiasts alike. The Motherland Calls, Volgograd. Standing at nearly 85 meters tall, the Motherland Calls is one of the tallest statues in the world, depicting a fierce woman wielding a sword. Yet the massive sculpture hides darker tales. Construction workers spoke of strange accidents and unexplained sounds during its building in the 1960s. Some locals claim to see the statue's eyes glow at night or feel an overwhelming sense of sorrow nearby, believed to be the spirit of the many who died in the Battle of Stalingrad. Commemorated here. The monument to the conquerors of space, Moscow. This iconic soaring titanium monument was built to honor Soviet achievements in space exploration. Despite its futuristic appearance, eerie stories surround the monument, including reports of bizarre lights and strange noises near the site. Urban legends say the monument is a kind of portal linked to secret Soviet experiments with space and time travel, making it a magnet for paranormal investigators. The Solovetsky Stone, Moscow. Unlike grand statues, the Solovetsky Stone is a simple boulder placed in Moscow as a memorial to the victims of the Gulag prison camps. Yet visitors report a heavy, almost suffocating atmosphere when near it. Survivors and descendants speak of ghostly whispers and sudden chills, believed to be the trapped souls of those who suffered under Soviet repression. The stone stands as a stark reminder that some monuments carry emotional and spiritual weight far beyond their physical form. The fallen monument to Felix Dzerzhinsky, Moscow. Once a prominent statue of Felix Dzerzhinsky, the founder of the Soviet secret police, this monument was removed after the Soviet Union's collapse. Some say that during its removal, workers experienced inexplicable technical malfunctions and eerie occurrences. Today, the pedestal remains, and some locals swear they hear faint footsteps or voices in the surrounding park, a ghostly echo of a dark era. The Komsomolskaya Pravda obelisk, St. Petersburg. This radiant obelisk commemorates the youth communist movement and Soviet achievements. Yet, legends tell of sightings of former Komsomol youth wandering near the monument at night, dressed in outdated uniforms. Strange fog and unexplained lights have been reported, believed to be residual energies of the zeal and fervor that once defined the movement, lingering long after its demise. The Eternal Flame monuments across the former Soviet territories, Eternal Flame monuments honor fallen soldiers. While symbolic of remembrance and peace, many of these sites have chilling folklore about sudden flickers of the flame without wind or mysterious shadows appearing at night. Some eyewitnesses report feeling watched or hearing distant war cries, blurring the lines between memory and haunting. Urban mysteries and paranormal sightings. In addition to oral legends, many Soviet monuments have been subjects of paranormal investigations. Infrared cameras and audio recorders have caught unexplained movements and sounds. Local ghost tours often feature these sites, sharing stories of mysterious figures and spectral events linked to the tragic history embodied in stone and metal. The monument to the heroes of the Battle of Stalingrad, Volgograd. This monument complex, part of the larger memorial including the Motherland Calls, memorializes the horrific battle that changed the tide of World War II. Visitors report inexplicable emotional heaviness, sudden cold gusts, and on occasion, shadowy figures glimpsed out of the corner of their eyes. Some believe these are the spirits of fallen soldiers, eternally reliving the horrors of the battle. At night, locals have spoken about hearing distant echoes of gunfire and commands, blurring the lines between past and present. The Bronze Horseman, St. Petersburg. Although not strictly a Soviet monument, the Bronze Horseman became a symbol during Soviet times. Many myths surround this statue of Peter the Great, including tales of curses and ghostly apparitions. People claim to have seen the statue's horse neigh at night or felt an inexplicable presence around the monument. The mysterious statue is tied to many folk stories and is said to guard the city's fate, its aura thick with superstitions thriving even today. The Kirovets tractor statue, Leningrad. An industrial icon praising Soviet agricultural might, this statue has surprising supernatural stories tied to it. Workers building the monument allegedly experienced equipment breakdowns, eerie voices, and sudden disorientation. The tractor, symbolizing mechanized power, paradoxically seems linked with strange energy, with stories of phantom figures in the dasher colors of Soviet workers appearing around the site, keeping vigil over the past. The worker and Kalka's woman statue, Moscow. This famous statue, symbolizing the Soviet ideal of unity between worker and peasant, carries whispered stories of tragic love and loss symbolized by its heroic figures. Urban legends suggest that on moonlit nights, the figures seem to move subtly, caught in a timeless dance. Visitors report unusual feelings of nostalgia and melancholy, as if the statue preserves long-buried emotions of millions who lived through upheaval and ambition. Memorials linked to repressions and the Gulag. Many smaller monuments scattered across Russia mark places of repression, exile, and suffering. For example, granite slabs and crosses at former Gulag sites are often surrounded by harrowing tales of apparitions, cries heard during the stillness of the night, and shadows moving against the wind. These stories tell of the unresolved trauma and the spiritual scars left by decades of Stalinist terror. The power of Soviet monumental art and its ghosts. Soviet monumental art was designed to inspire and intimidate, to promise a bright future while sometimes masking dark realities. The clash between the ideology of progress and the human cost seems to have left energetic imprints, manifesting as eerie sensations or unsettling folklore connected to these impressive but often grim symbols. The monuments stand not just as stone and metal but as living testimonies to a turbulent past, layered with history, memory, and the unexplained. How these stories influence contemporary views. Modern Russia grapples with the legacy of Soviet monuments. Some are preserved as cultural heritage sites, others are controversial reminders of a complex past. The eerie backstories add a layer of fascination and caution. Tourists seeking thrill visit these places for their ghost stories, while locals may feel a profound connection or unease. This intertwining of history, art, and mystery keeps the spirit of the Soviet era alive in unexpected ways, fueling stories that will be told for generations. Conclusion. Famous Soviet monuments are much more than commemorations of history, they are vessels of untold stories, spiritual echoes, and eerie mysteries. They invite us to look beyond their imposing forms and remember the people, the sacrifices, and sometimes the ghosts who still wander among them.